We are now in the third video, the type 3 determined child in our series on perfect hairstyles for the 4 types of children. We've done type 1, the fun-loving child. We've done type 2, the sensitive child. And now we're looking at type 3, the determined child. Now, this is the child that moves forward swiftly. No is a challenge, an invitation to them quite often. I'm not saying children should do whatever they want. That's why you want to make sure you read the book. You want to learn how to work with type 3 energy to get what you want from these kids. So they're cooperating with you rather than battling you. You don't want to power struggle with a type 3 because they can push back with great determination and find a lot of satisfaction in that. So you want them pushing forward in a direction that supports your bigger vision for them. Make sure you read thechildwhisperer.com. Go to thechildwhisperer.com to buy The Child Whisperer. Over 850 mostly 5-star reviews on Amazon. It's a powerful book to change your understanding of your children so that your parenting is proactive rather than constantly disciplinary based. And a lot of that's just how you approach your kids. Now, the type 3 child, the 2 key words we're going to use for their hairstyle is swift and edgy. Swift and edgy. These kids want it. I have a swift and edgy hairstyle. I'm a type 3. Now, we're going to go here and I'm going to remove that one because I just remembered I had not done that. Here we go. Swift, that was type 2. That was for the last video. This is a swift and edgy hairstyle. He's got my hair. We have the same hairstyle. Look at that kid. He looks awesome. It's that. How is it different than the type 1 we saw in the first video? Notice it goes over at an angle. It's pushed over at an angle rather than straight up. It's this texturizing of all these fine hairs here, a lot of texturizing here, and then we've kind of went real clean shaven on the sides. And love that hairstyle on that little boy. Super easy, but look again how it brings out these dynamic features of this type 3 little boy. Our next type 3 little boy, this is what he says to his mom. I don't have time for haircuts. So her solution, undercut, shave around the sides and back, grow the top long. He's 8 years old, so see, keep that bottom part really cropped, clean shaven. Now, and the top longer, you got more space between haircuts. Because the top, that can grow quite a bit, and the top you can just keep pushing back, and it's cut at an angle. We've now doubled the length of time easily between haircuts. You know, maybe he's getting them every 7, 8, 9 weeks versus every 5 or 6. You know, we can go longer. So it's when a haircut comes around, and talk to your kids about this. Well, here's what you don't like haircuts. We've got to get a style that you need less haircuts. And they're all in then. So you can easily have a conversation with a type 3 8-year-old about why you're doing what you're doing, or inviting them to choose that and seeing the benefit of that. You go, you don't want haircuts? And let's get a style that's going to last longer and look good. So we're not fighting you about getting your haircut. Now this type 3 little girl, this is classic. When I'm traveling, I can always pick out the type 3 kid in the families. They look like this. they just look like they're a little, they've had a rumble. And it's awesome because they don't care about whether their hair looks great or not, or if it looks tousled or messy and like they just rolled out of bed. You want to be able to go with that because they're get up and go. They don't want to take the time necessarily to have their hair combed through, get the knots out of their hair. In fact, I'd try and get a hairstyle for a type 3 girl that you wouldn't have to use a brush with. That it's just let it wash and dry. Maybe put some product in. My little type 3 granddaughter, who's a 3-4, Anne's daughter, she just got a slight perm in her hair. Not a real tightly woven perm, but enough of a perm to give it this kind of kink. It looks better on her. It gives it edge. It gives it texture. It looks swift and edgy. And it's super, super wash and go. So, and it looks really good. So think in those terms. And again, invite them to make a choice about their hairstyle. And here's a really fun short cropped one. Lots of layers, lots of texture. Again, don't even need a comb or a brush. This is a wash and wear hairstyle that these kids can maintain from a very young age, which is what you want. The more you can empower a type 3 to have independence with different experiences of their life and succeed at them, and they're giving, and the result is something you can support, the better. Because it's just, again, that kind of independent determination really then develops in a healthy way rather than something that you're countering. So think swift and edgy, wash and wear. So that's our type 3 children. We're going to wrap this up with the next video with type 4. Whole different approach than our type 3. These kids do care deeply about their hair typically, and we'll see how to support them. In the meantime, go to thechildwhisperer.com, listen to the podcasts. They're short, they're for busy parents, they're 15 minutes in length, and everyone has a practical application of something to do in your life that supports each of your type of children. Thanks for watching, everyone.